It is time. It is time to brew your best beer. Brought to you by Beer Grains Supply Company, BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, Brew UK, Panhead Brewery, Tanner Ritchie, Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Brig Selv, Hackney Brewery, Hashigo Sake, Mangrove Jacks, Sprig and Fern Tavern, Yakima Valley Hops.
Well, a long hard day. Time for a big beer to relax for the rest of the night on. This is an Imperial chocolate stout, conditioned on oak chips infused with Talisker single malt whiskey. That's a good whiskey, 10-year-old malt. Comes out at 10.2%. Let me see here. We've got Marisota, black malt, chocolate malt, roasted barley, torrefied wheat, East Kent Goldings, the oak chips, and of course the whiskey. So, a little hiss. A little bit of something on the bottom of the cap there. Whoop, dropped it. Into the whiskey. Quite thick. What little head there is almost brown. Very dark. Strong aroma of the whiskey. Let's see. Obviously it's dark. We're getting the black film on the side of the glass. The residue is thick. Loads of alcohol legs clinging to the side of the glass there. Aroma wise is just a whiskey really. If it was just the oak chips that were soaked in the whiskey, it's very pungent. Almost whiskey like, almost as if there's a whiskey chucked in it. You can feel it twitching on my nose, which is probably not a bad thing because I'm starting to get a cold, so I'm trying to get through the last of these SJ Porr beers before my taste buds go on strike. Not really pulling much else off. Let's have a taste. Loads and loads of the oak. Very, very oaky. There's a slight little bit of twang on the fizziness right at the top of your saliva glands. It's almost brandy-like in consistency when you drink it, to thicken the mouthfeel, the density of the actual beer. Very thick and heavy. Very, very lightly carbed. Possibly a little bit too light. I know it's not easy, well, cosmetically, when they get to this ABV. Obviously, if there's any other whiskey added into it, that will kill the head as well. Maybe the amount of whiskey soaked into the oak chips. Get a little bit of the backbone. It's boozy, but it tastes more boozy from the flavour you're getting off of the whiskey. But it's a good evening beer. If I still smoked this and a nice big cigar, but it does taste, it needs a little bit more malt sweetness. It's got the body, but it hasn't got the, it's a little bit thin on the taste. Although the mouthfeel is heavy and full, there is also a thinness to it from the alcohol. The oak chips and the whiskey are the two prominent things out of the beer, nothing else really. Almost a sort of woody, smoky oakness, the whiskey flavour. Obviously it's infused with whiskey, so the intention was to have a whiskey taste there, and it's certainly there. Some people will love it, others won't, I think. For me it's okay. Some people aren't a whiskey fan, but I think it's too much to drink. Although it's in a 330, you probably wouldn't want any more really, because those flavours would be too much to enjoy for a long period of time. But yeah, if they were toned down slightly, and maybe something just to keep a little cap on there, but it feels and tastes like a 10.2, and possibly a little bit, but it has got a thinness to it that almost tastes like it has got whiskey added to the actual beer rather than just soaked in the chips, unless they were literally, you know, like a sponge. But it's slick. There's good points and bad points to it, but it came, saw, it conquered. I don't think it was a waste of a £40 whiskey, but it needs other things in there to balance it out. It's just a little bit too prominent on the oak and the whiskey, and not enough on the other things to even everything out. But not really, other than a slight alcohol, which you'd expect at 10.2. But yeah, if it was more balanced on all points, the alcohol, the blending of the flavours, and bringing up the body, it would be a cracking beer. Whether you've got enough to age any and just see if they tone down the flavours mould a little bit. At 10.2 you could store this beer for quite some time, so I can see it taking on more sort of sherry like flavours when it was aged. Okay, well, I'll enjoy the rest off cam and score her up. See you on the next one.